What's up, beautiful people? So in this one, we're going to be checking out the back and forth that's been going on between Botswana and Germany over the, I think it's elephant hunting trophy. So Botswana promised to send, or said that they could send 20,000 elephants to Germany, and people have been speculating on this topic, saying it's rude. People don't really understand the context. So in this video, we hope to understand the context. I'm really excited to see this one. Without wasting your time, let's get to it. Let's get to it.
African elephants roaming freely in Germany. Well, this is how the German tabloid Bild pictured it recently after interviewing Botswana's president. Vibewithjudeo Masisi suggested he could send 20,000 elephants to Germany, adding he wouldn't take no for an answer. This after Berlin threw its weight behind EU.
See, sometimes I would appreciate if Western leaders and media personalities do a little bit more research about the context in Africa rather than trying to implement what you think might be right on us. I just thought I should say that before you get into the video, because the person who made that statement about Botswana didn't really understand why the trophy, the hunting trophy, was allowed.
Plans to restrict or even ban outright the import of hunting trophies from endangered animals. Botswana says bans like these are condescending and colonialist, pointing to its own wildlife conservation record, the increase of wild animals there, and the importance of tourism, hunting, and trophies to local communities. It's estimated that 90% of African elephants were wiped out since the start of the 20th century, largely due to hunting, the ivory trade, and poaching. As a result, elephants are listed as endangered animals, but not in Botswana, where their numbers have increased to more than 130,000. That's the world's largest elephant population. Every year, the government issues a limited number of hunting permits, saying this is needed to keep elephant numbers in check and generate income. Joining me now is the President of the Republic of Botswana, His Excellency Vibewithjudeo Masisi. Mr. President, hello and welcome to DW News Africa. So, just to be clear, you're not really sending 20,000 elephants to Germany, are you?
Pay attention to what he's going to respond here. This is going to be an interesting response. They ask him, are you really sending it? And then pay attention.
20,000 elephants to Germany, are you?
I might well be. If the Germans are able to come and collect them, I'm more than happy to facilitate.
Why would you say that?
Because I want the Germans to feel what we feel, go through what we go through, experience what we do, and be part of the solution to this problem of not having enough, of these magnificent species around. Share the burden.
What exactly are the sacrifices Botswana is going through to keep those elephants?
Well, we are the only country in the world that has set aside 40% of our land mass for conservation. That's a massive sacrifice.
40% of the land mass for conservation. That is a lot. That is a whole lot. Imagine, let's say you wanted to build or you wanted to plant rice in like 20%. You'd be like one of the biggest rice exporters in the world. But they set it aside for conservation. I wonder how much they make off tourism.
Sacrifice. If you can just think of the opportunity cost of what, that it would be in terms of what other activities could be undertaken on that landmass, it should show you what a sacrifice it is. One, two is we have to protect these animals and offer them safety and ensure that in times of drought, like we're going through a devastating drought now, we do our best to mobilize our resources to provide water for them. We have got to ensure that these animals are as free from a disease burden. So we also have got to make sure that these animals are enjoyed comfortably and safely by our tourists. These are sacrifices. But another sacrifice is that when these animals, particularly elephants in this case, overshoot the runway in terms of their population growth rate, they then veer and start grazing and marauding over areas bigger than the geographic space that they've been designated for them. And when they do that, you get into the inevitable human-wildlife conflict issue.
I mean, you said this, and I quote, this is to Germany. You said this, and I quote, this is no joke, and it is very easy to sit in Berlin and have an opinion about our affairs in Botswana. We are paying the price for preserving these animals for the world. Some would argue that was quite a harsh tone. Aren't you breaking with diplomatic?
But it wasn't, though. It's a fact. You know, when you're speaking the facts, like, you're not trying to be harsh, you're trying to be formal and direct. That was not a harsh tone. That is true. Before you say something like that, you have to do your research. So yeah, I don't think it was being harsh.
Mentions and risking a spat with Germany by saying those words.
No. It's not. It's not at all. I'm not assaulting the German government. I'm not assaulting the German people. I'm talking to a position from our perspective that we feel and experience. And so when these opinions are generated out of discourse, I'm enlivening the debate. Take into consideration where the elephants come from, the people that live with them, the governments that manage them. That's all I'm asking. And there's no risk of being candid about what we experience. So it was no slight to our German friends.
Okay, so I'm gonna end this video right there. I just thought I should bring it so we can understand the context a little bit more. So how the argument started, I think the Botswana, I don't know how they call people from Botswana, but the government of Botswana, they allocate licensings or trophies for hunting elephants. And Germany was like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. These are animals that are going extinct. You know, you should protect them. And Botswana is like, okay, we'll send 20,000 to you. You protect them. And the problem here was Germany did not understand the context of why this is happening. And also in Botswana, they don't just give trophies to everybody to go out and hunt elephants. They give regulated amounts for conservation. They're like, oh, this amount is what we might allow this year to happen. They don't just let people go kill elephants. Because they have a limited space already. They're giving 40% of their land mass to conservation. That is a lot, if you ask me. That is a lot, if you ask me. So if these people are really willing to save these elephants, you should take them in your country. You know, Germans, take them in. Other Western countries can take them in. Botswana is not the biggest country in the world. You know, we have Russia, Canada, bigger countries. These bigger countries should take the elephants in if you want to conserve them, if you want to keep them. Instead of, you know, throwing the backlash on Botswana. You see, 40%, I didn't even know that 40% of the landmass of Botswana is being kept aside for conservation. Anyways, I feel like this one is going to give you a little bit more context on why the exchange happened, and I thought I should bring this video. If you want to see the full length, it's about 15 minutes. I'll put the link in the description so you can go check it out. But yeah, it's an interesting one. Share your thoughts. If you have an opposing view to what I've said, feel free to talk to me in the comment section. If you want to critique, correct anything, or add or subtract to what I've said, you know, feel free to let me know in the comment section. Smash the like button, subscribe as well, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a very wonderful day.